Dozens of high water rescues happening across southeast Texas. Floodwater in one West Beaumont neighborhood rose too quickly for many to make it out of town on their own.
KFDM's Courtney Schoeneman is live near the Griffin Place neighborhood on North Major Drive. Courtney, you were there as many of these high water rescues were happening, right?
We were here, and the theme of the day today was neighbors helping neighbors. Many people in this Griffin Place subdivision lost power late last night. They woke up this morning with no power, realized they were stranded. That's when boats launched right here on the side of North Major Drive. They launched right here in the ditches, navigating through these neighborhoods, rescuing dozens, including senior citizens.
I got them, they were crying. I put them in the boat and they were crying.
A heart-wrenching sight as a boat full of elderly, several wheelchair-bound, finally made it to safety. Complete strangers banding together.
Yes, they got room in that truck.
To make sure some of the most vulnerable flood victims made it to dry ground.
I'm the one that got them, no problem.
But around every corner was someone else in need.
Can y'all go get someone for us? Yeah, where are they?
That's the voice of Pastor Ed Colbert. He lives in Griffin Place.
In the entrance, it's 6 foot deep.
While his home takes on water, he launches a boat from his own front yard to save others.
When people need help, they just need help. That's it. Neighbors, that's what neighbors are for.
Janet says she woke up Wednesday morning with water in her front yard, and it never stopped rising.
Ready for this to end.
Her family and their pets found refuge in the pastor's boat and made it out unscathed.
Oh, thank y'all so much. I didn't expect this to happen. Never in a million years did I expect this to happen. So yeah, thank y'all so much.
Also in need of rescue was Jefferson County Constable Earl White.
I've lived in Beaumont my whole life, and I've never seen flooding like this.
But it didn't take long for White to jump into action himself.
And now I'm going to pitch in and get my other neighbors out as long as we have to. We'll do what we have to do to get them out.
Citizen rescuers vowing to keep going back in until they're sure everyone is safe.
You know, we're going to go back there again, make one more run and see what's going on, you know. I don't know what's going to happen. The water just won't stop. It won't stop raining.
Come get you in a minute.
Now you heard there, one of the rescuers said it won't stop raining. The water won't stop. Everyone all day has been wishing and hoping and praying that this rain is going to stop. Well, it's finally let up, but the bad news is the flooding has gotten worse. This road right here, North Major Road, was not covered when we were here earlier. That's not good news. We were talking to some people we saw here at the end of the street when we just got here a few moments ago. I'm trying to find out if there are still people inside this neighborhood. I'm told that there's one more boat coming out with a couple of people, and besides that, they think they have gotten everyone out besides the people who still want to stay here. I'm not sure why you would want to stay in this, but it sounds like there are some people that are waiting it out here in this neighborhood. For now, we're live in West Beaumont. I'm Courtney Schoeneman reporting.
Courtney, if we can go back to Courtney. Courtney, are you seeing any issues standing in that water, or ants, snakes, anything like that you've seen around at all?
We saw one little snake earlier. We've seen a lot of those floating fire ant beds that you've seen so much about. I tweeted out a picture because I'd never seen one for myself until today. Let me tell you, they're all over the place, and we actually accidentally stepped into some last night. It's not good, guys. It is painful.
Courtney, will you tell us about your drive out to Griffin's Place tonight?
The drive out to Griffin, to the Griffin Place subdivision here wasn't bad until you turn on to North Major here, and as far as we can see, I mean, it's flooded out. We just saw some crews actually from the Austin Fire Department roll through here. It looks like first responders are just trying to make one last pass through these subdivisions before we hit nightfall to make sure there's not anyone else out here that needs to be rescued. But yeah, we talked to people who've lived in this subdivision for 20 years, and they say they've never had to worry about flooding, and then look at this. It's pretty unbelievable to see.
It looks like a truck coming up behind you. Is that rescue boats in the back of that? If you'll turn to your right and check that out. Is that rescue boats, or is that someone just trying to make it through?
Yes, this is just an everyday citizen like we've seen so many times throughout this weekend and early week. They have an empty trailer there. It looks like where they've launched a jet ski. That looks like a jet ski trailer on the back there. And we've seen a couple of people navigating through this subdivision on jet skis, going through, making sure that everyone is out. So that's definitely potentially someone who's here who may be out in the neighborhood on their jet ski right now.
And Courtney, we can see straight ahead there that the land is pretty much dry, and that's where everyone is gathering now to figure out how to take on this floodwater, right? Like a staging area.
Yeah, I just talked. They are, there's a couple of people waiting, and I spoke to them right before we went live with you guys. One gentleman said he's waiting on his parents. He said his parents waited it out all day, and finally they made the call, okay, we should probably leave. He said that they're waiting on a boat to come by the house, and they should be coming out shortly. Besides that, it looks like all the action here has subsided. Primarily, I think, because this road has flooded out, and I think most of the people got out earlier when we were here between 10 and 2 o'clock this afternoon.
All right, you've been terrific for us, Courtney. Thank you so much. If anything changes out there, and obviously the water, as you mentioned, continues to rise a little bit, so be safe, and we'll see you back here in a bit.
Absolutely, thank you.